Hey guys, Butch Newell here, and today I want to share a few generator safety tips with you. As you know, we just went through one heck of a storm here in Florida, and I'm guessing there's probably several hundred, if not thousands of people that are using generators. Maybe some of them have used them in the past, like we used ours through Sandy when we lived up in the Northeast. And I just have a few things that I want to share that would make things safer for you and your family if you're going to be using a generator to provide electricity, even if it's a fan, or maybe you're using it for your refrigerator, deep freeze, things like that that you want to keep cold. And these tips could help you and the family for sure, because the number one thing with this is being aware of the carbon monoxide and using the generator far enough away from the house that gas isn't going to come back in, because people don't think about it. You've got to get that cord in through a door, in through a window, and when you do, you're leaving a gap. So I've got some tips on that, and I will share those with you now. Let's get started. Okay, so here's a run through on the generator, right? There's your cutoff switch. Use a key, turn it to run. If I had a battery in it, then we'd be able to use the electronic start, but it starts so easy. I just turn it to run, and it'll fire off. Now, it's got two 120 volt 20 amp outlets and one 30 amp outlet. I only really just use the 120 volt outlets. Haven't had to step it up anymore. Another important thing here is the breaker. Okay, so generator's running, and for whatever reason you lose power inside but you can still hear the generator outside, come check this. There's a good chance that maybe depending on what you had plugged in, say if you had a refrigerator, maybe a deep freeze, those both decided the compressors kick on at the same time. It could have drawn too much and just kicked this off like that. So it's real simple and real easy fix. Okay, so with the generator, this is one of the most important things you want, and that's the confidence that anytime you come over here and you pull this rope, that it's going to start. I'll tell you this, change the oil regularly, anywhere between 25 and 30 hours. I use a synthetic blend oil on this generator. It's just easier on the engine. If possible, use ethanol gas. That'll take care of the hoses and the carburetor, because even this one, before Irma came, I ended up having to clean out all the varnish. And I guess that's what it is that builds up in the carburetor. So if, it's just one of those things with the gas that you have, you're going to run whatever you have. And if you can burn ethanol, then do it. But if you can't, you gotta go with what you have and then worry about cleaning it up later. So with regards to this generator, let me just show you. This side here, that's where the exhaust is going to come out. And ideally, keep this thing about 15 feet away from the house. Keep it way out here. I'm out in the lanai. It's got plenty of ventilation, and you just can't be too careful. All right, so a couple of things that I keep on hand around the generator out here is this First Alert Tundra extinguisher. It's got 32 seconds of extinguishing power, I guess is what they call it. It lasts longer than most fire extinguishers, and this doesn't expire until June of 22. All right, and this is key because, anything could go wrong. It's a generator. It's got combustible fluid in it. It's got a big alternator, and that's another reason why it's out here, and not out by the cars or anything like that. But definitely keep your fire extinguisher around. And then also, I've got this portable carbon monoxide alarm. Now this one, what I do is I take it and it goes inside the house where I run the cord, whatever entry port that is. If I came in through the door in the garage, or I'm coming through here in the lanai, I'll show you that in a second, because I take this and I put this on the floor down there where I'm coming in, because that's going to be the point of entry for that carbon monoxide gas. And I want to know if we get any dangerous levels in the house. So that said, let me get the door set up like I run the extension cord through there, and then what I'll do is I'll come back and show you how I have that all done. All right, so here on the generator, got the cord plugged in. One of the things I will not do is actually tie that to the generator. I want to be able to disconnect that cord in the case of an emergency. All right, so here what I'll show you is the way I do this going back into the house. Just follow this back here. I put a knot in it, okay? And that knot just simply, if somebody should somehow, you know, trip on a cord, which would be kind of hard because they are all taped down, you know, they're not going to be able to accidentally pull it out. And as you can see, I use this blue, I think it's just gaff tape, on the inside of the door there, right? Because I do have girls in the house that don't care for little lizards and other crawly bugs to come in. So I do actually put that tape on both sides, but I just, you know, for the video I wanted you to see, that's how simple it is, right? Just run the cord through. And then on the inside, which let's switch in there next. So here on the inside of the house, let me show you. You can see, just taped up the door seam, just, you know, to keep out the lizards. Use a little trucker's hitch on the handles. Nothing very strong, just something that'll, you know, keep the doors pulled together. And then down here where it comes in the bottom, that's where I use that carbon monoxide monitor. And I suggest you do too, just to be safe. Never hurts to be safe.
All right, guys. So just in wrapping up this whole talk about generator safety, I'm going to go through this little list real quick. All right, so number one, just remember these things put off an immense amount of carbon monoxide. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you don't know when it's there. So make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector or a little alarm that you can have handy. The battery powered ones work great. I definitely recommend that. No need to take any chance with carbon monoxide getting into the house and hurting you or your family. Okay, number two, just don't run it indoors. That kind of goes without saying, but I just have to say it because it just seems like all the time you'll hear about somebody having an issue because they ran it inside. Don't run it in the garage. You can get creative. If it's raining, if you're afraid that you're gonna, you know, it's gonna get wet, you can use some plywood that you've taken off, you know, some of your windows maybe, put that out across the top of it, and that'll keep it dry. Also, utilize that fuel stabilizer within your fuel cans. That's going to give you some longevity with the fuel, but you know, in a perfect scenario, you're going to burn ethanol anyway, and you wouldn't need it. But definitely use a fuel stabilizer. Also, when it comes to those electrical cords, make sure that you do use ones that are properly rated for the type of appliances that you're going to be running. All right, the heavier duty, the better. And I've actually got links in the description below for things like the fire extinguisher, the carbon monoxide detector, the extension cords, anything that I use in my setup. I'm actually going to have all those links in the description below. And, you know, I can't say it enough. You know, I've got a dog, I've got kids, myself, my wife. You know, during the storm, you're going to be going places in this house in a hurry. So tape down those extension cords. It will save you in the long run. I won't even lie that, you know, here it is, how many days past Irma, and I still had them taped down because I wasn't sure what Jose was going to do. And now I know there's 2 more storms coming, but I'm not going to wait. They're all coming up. I'm tired of looking at them, and I can put them back down later. But I just use a simple gaff tape, which it's good and tacky. It holds the cords down. They won't move. But yet when you take up that tape, it's not going to leave any residue behind. All right, so I really do hope you guys appreciate the video, and I hope that, you know, if you do, you'll share it with family members and friends that you think could get a few tips out of this. All right, if you got any questions, leave a comment below, and I'll definitely do my best to get back and answer you. And if you'd like, go ahead and click subscribe so you'll be in the know the next time a video like this goes live. Thanks for watching.